Good evening, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Final Fantasy Randomizer. This has been a long day of adventure for everyone here. Started off at 10 o'clock this morning and we've been going straight through all the way until just now. Got 3 different matches on 3 different channels, all going on at the same time. This is the last one for me tonight. I think it's the last one that we're going to be running tonight in general, so, bounce around, see what's going on. Make sure to keep watching this one throughout, and then keep an eye on the other ones, just in case this one ends early. I am your host, Darkmoon EX, joined in the booth by Kevin the Cloud. Kevin, how's it going today?
I'm fine.
It's certainly been a long day, I will say that much. So, the players were discussing whether or not they were going to party draft. We are just going to make sure very briefly whether or not they have actually decided to do that. Up until 30 seconds ago, they were still discussing.
Yeah, I heard there were rumors that there was going to be party drafting, but we don't know which one was going to do it.
Yeah, so we are still working. Okay, it looks like we're going to have White Mage, Thief, Fighter, and then another White Mage. So this will be entertaining. I love this. So in case you're curious how the party draft works, the first player of the 2 agreed upon, however they agree upon doing it, picks the first character, second player picks the second and third, and then the first player picks the fourth. So, Dengwoo went with, or Highspirits went with the White Mage, Dengwoo went with Thief and Fighter, and just for the heck of it, Highspirits picked another White Mage. So it's... Oh, I love it! That is so good. So there's no black magic on the table, and if the White Mage doesn't get a fade early on, we're not going to see any damage spells until at least the ninja gets class changed. That is fascinating. Also means temper and fast and all the other good spells like lock may be off the table for you. It is quite good. I am delighted to see this. So it looks like they are done, at least in the race room, and we'll see that reflected over here. So I am going to just release them and make sure we are ready to go. Kevin, how do you feel about this match? What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to see how Highspirits regains its edge in the last randomizer tournament he entered before I entered last year's.
It should be fun to watch. These are 2 really solid players. They can both put on quite a good show. So seeing what they do and where they're going and what they're going to be doing against each other, maybe they're going to play each other, maybe they're just going to play the seed. I'm really interested to see how this all plays out. Should be, as I said, a very good show. So any second now they should release, and then we will see some movement and we can start tracking everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, this will be an interesting match, because I've known Highspirits ever since I followed his channel. He's a pretty good guy, and also a pretty darn good randomizer racer when it comes to Dragon Warrior, and I think he's still in the Dragon Warrior randomizer tournament.
Yeah, I know a few of our players play in various leagues. It helps to get crossover skills and keep you fresh. So here we go. Just standard weapons there in the shops. We got Invis, that's nice to see, and best of the quote-unquote AoE that they have right now, Harm 2. It's not going to be bad. It's going to be useful for Temple of Fiends. It's going to be decent for when you're up over at Marsh Cave if you have to go there. Little weak, though, to do much damage over an ice. Although they do get 2 shots of it because they got 2 white mages. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it won't. I guess we'll just have to find out. Good, we do have housing and we have potions. That'll help them out some because this is going to be a very squishy party for a little while.
I have to agree. Squishy parties are not very fun to run.
I mean, they're not, but they kind of are. Like I'm sure this is going to be delightful to watch as Highspirits is the first out of Canaria, heading his way up towards the Temple of Fiends. I think he's probably hoping right now that he finds some sort of casting item that can actually help him out, because there goes a white mage. There's really not much that they're going to be able to do right now without that casting item, like Well, Thorhammer's incentivized, but a Mage Stick or a Zeus Gauntlet, they really don't need the Light Axes because they got mages. But meanwhile, Dengwoo already checking what the king has, not even worrying about what Sarah might pull. He gets the bottle for his efforts. Highspirits looks like he's going to exit first. Hopefully he bought a cabin. There we go. And he'll go fight Garland. Garland, Kevin, I'm sure as you know, can be quite dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, I have to admit, he is quite dangerous at times because he could throw a dangerous spell that could wipe a whole party if he's lucky enough.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like he tried one shot, realized there wasn't any damage coming out, and Highspirits bailed on fighting Garland. Didn't really find much of anything useful up in the Temple of Fiends chests. Just going to move on with his... So Dane was making his way over to the Dwarf King. Gonna see what's maybe in those two chests and if there's anything helpful over there. The bottle he got from the king right now is only worth about 5 percentage points extra experience because he's not gonna be able to turn that in until he gets the floater. Doesn't seem like there's anything good over there.
Yeah, there's only 2 ways he'd be able to get. Only one way he'd be able to get the airship anyways, by canoe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot on the table he has to have before he can manage to get that bottle.
Yeah.
Dengwoo also going to go make the Matoya play. He's really hoping that one of the 3 loose that he has or something decent shows up. Well, that's 12,000 in cash and an ice sword. That's definitely decent. That's going to help him since he doesn't have much else that he can do. But still no key items yet.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, bear in mind that when you look at the flag strings on the website for our current flag set, the Siege set, that there's technically 2 loose, but it's really 3, because the canal is not counted in there, but it is a loose canal. So if they want to get out of the high sea, they're going to have to find that canal along with whatever else they're going. So 3 loose is on the table. So far, we're sitting at 0 found. Which, the longer this goes on, the more it's indicating that they're going to have to go to the dreaded Marsh Cave.
Oh, yeah. Marsh Cave. The cave that would pwn anyone who falls there.
Yeah. As Chad is discussing, and I have to agree with them, the Ice Sword is a great pickup for them right now. That's a early to mid-game just powerhouse sword. It's going to be useful for them, because they are going to be able to possibly go back up to Garland and take him out now, because they can deliver a couple quick shots, knock him on his butt.
Yeah, I have to agree. Who knows, Highspirits might get lucky and take him out in one shot.
About 76 damage plus 3 little pathetic punches right now. Garland did deal some damage there, but a follow-up hit for 2 hits and 144 damage takes Garland down. Highspirits is the first to have the Garland taken care of. Goes and gets that bottle that we already knew from the king, and we get to find out what Sarah has. It is the rod. Still inaccessible right now without that canal, but good to have for later.
Yeah. Makes it easier for him to access Lich once he gets through.
And really, I don't mind seeing that Iron Shield up there at Temple of Fiends. You don't have to spend money for it, and it's at least a little bit of kit to throw on your fighter. Not a bad thing. Still, they really need to hope that Fate is over at level 2 or maybe level 3, because they're going to be hurting without that AoE.
Yeah, I would have to. If it was at 4, then it'd be a good chance. They might still deal some damage.
Yeah, 4 is a bit of a push. It's starting to get to that point where you need a few levels to be able to use it. And to get the levels, you kind of need it. It's, it's that catch-22 right there. But within the first 4 levels, I'm sure they'll still be happy. It's just, if it ends up being anywhere later than that, oof, 2 white mages is going to hurt for them.
Yeah, I would agree. And that's really a dangerous risk.
So we got Exit and Invis 2 sitting at the white magic shop at Provoca. Plus Harm 3, and I don't know, honestly, I might even just take that, because it's at least AoE of some kind. And it looks like that's exactly what Highspirits is doing as well. Dengwoo has finished off his Garland. He's gonna, I guess, burn an encounter just before getting on the ship. That's smart. We got sabers and rapiers sitting in the shop there. I mean, I think the daggers they found are probably better. And just for the heck of it, we got Warp and Quad X there at level 2 when you can finally use Black Magic. By that point, I don't think Warp is even going to matter.
Yeah, I had to.
So here we are. Yes?
Highspirits is now facing Beaky and his pirate.
Mm-hmm. Making a run for some BK. Mm-hmm. 2 down so far. This is going to be a long, slow slog.
Oh, you did also forget another spell in the black spell area.
And that would be?
Rub.
I mean, I guess, depending upon if you want to play with an art. Dengwoo might take it. He loves his meanie spells.
Very true. Yeah, I have to agree.
Down to 3 now, while Dengwoo's in the same fight, just slowly slugging away right here. He does, however, have weapons on more of his party members, which means that these pirates are actually probably going to die just a little faster. The white mage punches aren't quite able to take them out, but they aren't really evasive. And with that, you get the Canoe, which opens up more of this place. I mean, if you feel like punishing yourself, you could go hit Ice Cave next. That would be a spicy play. And we have the Floater for just under 5,000. That is amazing.
And he is up.
Oh! Dengwoo doesn't have the money for it. Dengwoo has to figure out how to get the money for it. He's desperately checking his inventory, hoping he can sell something to get it.
Well, that definitely paid off for Highspirits.
It did. I feel bad for Dengwoo. He was nice and caught up there, and then now he has to go take a piddly party like this and hope he can clear it out. Man, those imps are swole today. Get 7 damage on them, they'll die. And there's Lit too from the Grey Wolves. Yeah, oh, ouch.
That's a definite nightmare.
And Trance, yep, he resets out. That's smart. Go find a Saria or the Iguana over here instead. Might be better off for you.
Yeah, Iguanas might make a good amount of experience at least. Did Trance
Here we go.
decide to knock someone out?
It's possible. But we now do have an undead party here for Dengwoo's side, and that's easy enough to kill with all those harm 2s and harm 3s. They fall down like dominoes, and I think he has the money now to do what he needs to do.
Earlier, before a Highspirits actually resetted, he ran into a few Carabai, one of them having about an Ice 3 or Ice 2 that did about around 100 something.
EMP any amount of money asking if it'd be a good idea to take those harm 3s over to Marsh Cave for a few levels. If you're going to use harm 3 for it to get levels from something, I think I'd go to Ice Cave because you can try and power cycle into a mummy fight instead, which is going to be better experience and better gold than what you're going to get over at Marsh Cave. I just think in general you're probably better off prioritizing that fight. In the same way, if you really wanted to, you could go to Pop and try and prioritize a zombie fight. But I think that one might just be not worth it because of how much power cycling you'd have to do. Mummies are pretty prevalent in Ice Cave. I think that might be better. But that's me.
Okay. Apparently, in the shop at level 6, Fade is in there.
Oh. Well, that's not what they wanted. We do get the TNT, though. He can easily fly that out now that he's here. So, yeah, at least he can go hit Sarda now and go find out what the item is over there, and he can kind of try and decide where he wants to go next.
And now he has that. He also has access to Gaia now to use.
Mm-hmm. Oh, with the Canoe, he has With that canoe, he has everything. But you are right. With the floater he has, he can go check out the bottle over at Gaia. That's a good call. I totally forgot about it.
And from Sarda, he actually got the tail.
Very nice. I mean, I think personally, because there's no penalty for doing it, I just go class change now. As soon as you can get those charges and start using spells off the ninja, you want to. And maybe the extra bits of harm 2 and harm 3 from the fighter can do something.
Yeah, I had to agree.
Here we are with the TNT tail, turning, getting the loot. It's not direct progression right now, but you're at least happy to see it because that loot can basically be anywhere in the sea.
Yeah, it's pretty much obvious bait if you can't find it correct.
Mm-hmm. So here we are finding out what's going to be over at the white and black magic shops, because, I mean, ninja's on the table now. Fast cake, good to see. Still haven't seen life yet.
Apparently, the only thing worth is Expert and Cure 2 in the white level 3.
I mean, I think I'd take Cure 2 just so I have the healing, but I really wouldn't call that worth it. Cure 4 at the white magic shop, level 4, that's a lovely find, and they'll have plenty of charges of that by the end game. And then Temper and Lit 3 are sitting there at the black magic shop. Ninja is actually seeming pretty stacked. Meanwhile, Dengwoo goes up and turns in that bottle, gets Oxale cleared out from that. That's a good pickup to have whenever he finally feels like he can go take on Sea Shrine. Because, of course, Sea Shrine is incentivized in the Mermaid chest. Flying right past Ordeals, not interested in that right now. Gonna do his tail turn in. Smart.
Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen.
Sooner or later. Gonna do the long walk down both directions and then more than likely exit out because you got a white mage. You should.
Highspirits is doing the same turn in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're basically following similar paths because that's where the seed is leading them.
Yeah.
And Dengwoo remembers he has exit and gets the heck out of there. So now, where are they headed? He's going to do the Cardia play. I think that's fair. There, you're right here. You still have 3 loose on the table. Got to figure out where your treasures are. Plus, now that you're up to class changed. Huh?
HS is doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're here. You know, throw that great X on that ninja now that he can equip basically anything. That's smart. White shirt, that's lovely. Throw that on one of your 2 white mages. Now you have a gold bracelet plus. And a pro ring. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Basically, the pro ring costs like about 30k in one of the shops.
Weirdly, he doesn't put the white shirt on either of his white mages. I mean, he's a better player than I am. I'm sure he has a plan. Maybe he's thinking about just ditching the white mages in general and operating off of the ninja black mage. Bold move there, Cotton.
Yeah. I had to agree with that concept.
Yeah, and he's thrown that white mage up front. They're a sacrificial lamb, just hoping they get dusted off. It's a very evasive worm. Too evasive, he decides not to take it after all.
Yeah, but later on, they'll probably provide a good amount of gold experience.
So while Dengwoo finishes up this looting of the Cardia Isles, Highspirits is heading back to Crescent. I'm assuming he's contemplating this. Oh, he wants to get Fade right now, which is smart. And then we'll see where he wants to head after this. Fade and Harm 4 at the same level. When that's kind of some of the best like AoE that you got, you hate to see both those spells together. Diversify those charges.
Yep, definitely. Dengwoo is now going to turn his TNT in to get the
Get his loot out of the way. So, if you're in this position, Kevin, where would you head next, seeing as how basically the world is open to you short of air? You need the 2 items for air, and you need the key. What is your next...
Well, I would go get to use the bottle to see what I get from the fair.
That was the Oxio.
Well, that would have been my next strategy right there.
So, Highspirits is able to pull an undead pack. Got himself like doing the thing we were talking about, the ice cave grind. Manages to kill one of the race, which does a single shot. Gonna follow that up with a second harm too. This will get him a little bit of experience. And now he knows that off of a power cycle, how easily he can get to that wraith. Up to level 6 right now. He definitely wants some charges so that he can clear out, or so that he can get to Fade and start clearing out packs properly. Plus, this gives him, as soon as he reaches level 15, it'll start giving him charges on his ninja and his fighter. Absolutely beneficial.
Definitely.
Level 7 right there for him. Dengwoo's going back and doing some of his turn-ins, or picking up items and armor. Wants to get himself ready to go. Pro rings here for 23,000. He can buy one. That's not a bad pickup.
Yeah, I agree.
Frosty, however, is beyond them. I mean, I like this play from Highspirits. I just don't know how long you want to take it for, because at this point, like, you're not certain what the other person is doing, and if they find an easier way to burn through this, maybe they are able to pick up a zombie D tile or something else somewhere. You could be bleeding time right now. So maybe 3-4 of these encounters, but I don't think I'd stick around here for too long.
Yeah.
Dengwoo flying south. Looks like he's going to try and make that volcano play. Meanwhile, Highspirits gets a really lovely 9-pack right here. Unfortunately, they drop his ninja, but right now I believe his bigger concern is the charges on his white mages so he can get some fade. I don't think that's going to bother him at all. It actually dumps more experience on the rest of them. Gets him up to level 9 on his 3 warriors. Gonna go out, fly away, and we'll see if he decides to revive that ninja or not.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what he plans on doing.
Dengwoo finds the mage stick here in the volcano treasury while I was chatting about Highspirits. There is some actual AoE, and you know what? It's fire, just as useful over at the ice cave and the marsh cave as those harm charges are going to be. In fact, because it can take out mucks and other stuffs, even more useful. I think Dengwoo is going to be sticking to this 3-man party of fighter, white mage, ninja. I can't say I necessarily blame him for that. You know Fade is at level 6, but getting the charges to that's a little difficult. And in this capacity, at least he can get more experience on the rest of his party members and make them useful.
Yep. Now Highspirits is heading towards Gaia to redeem the bottle.
Checking out what's up the level 7 shops as well, maybe the 8 shops too. Like, knowing what you can get for these mages when there's so little they can do otherwise is super key. Opens that bottle, gonna go see what the fairy has, which we know should be the Oxyale. Now diving deep in the treasury proper. Couple shots of money, a house, a heal pot, coral sword, which is useful to throw onto your ninja. Silver O, which I guess you can throw on your ninja. An opal shield for the fighter, and a gold O. There's a good amount of armor right there. Lovely to see.
Well, now it looks like Highspirits is heading towards Mount Ordeals. Or Castle Ordeals. Sorry, mispronounced the name.
Still not equipping any armor on his white mage. Kind of wondering if they're even going to bother having them around. Unfortunately, this water pack is just ripping right through his party. White mage is able to get away, though. And yeah, that's going to be a quick exit so we can go get that ninja back.
Yeah, you don't want to try to lose any of your characters in this kind of race. You want to be able to keep them intact when you're facing off against chaos.
Ooh, those are cheap gold bracelets there. Less than 19 grand. That is lovely. Usually they're 3 times that price. Anytime you can find those, you're like, okay, prioritize this. I am coming back for those soon.
Yeah, I agree. Any bracelets that's cheap, as good, it's worth buying.
So he's picking up his shots on his ninja, gonna make that ninja that much more viable once they hit the level 15 mark. And grudgingly picks up Gear 2 as well. So Highspirits finds one of those packs that's actually really useful for this white mage party. Throwing out Harm 3 against this Mummy Whiz Mummy pack. That's another nice chunk of experience right here. I mean, as much as we denigrate the harms because they can't damage living enemies, there are plenty of undead packs around here that make the harm spells actually kind of useful. And that's level 10 across the board for him. Soon enough, he's going to start getting charges for all of his characters.
Yep. And as long as Highspirits starts working on those, he'll be fine.
Be good to go. Another pro ring, some money, silver shield, all nice finds. Helps to make his ninja just that much more viable. I am curious to see long-term what party he's going to build, because he doesn't have a lot of equipment on his ninja. I'm wondering if he's going to let him kiss dirt before too long and not worry about charges. Oh, there's the Bane sword. That's another nice AoE, and a second ice sheet sword along with the Weir. Throw that ice on your ninja, that's some decent equipment right there. And another good monster to have when you have all of that harm. Zombie D's.
Yep.
They pack a punch today, and they seem pretty absorby, too. Not a whole lot of damage there. Opts not to go with the harm 2s again, moving up to the harm 3s. Hopefully those will do a little better. There we go. Zombie D goes down. That's level 11 and 10 for his characters. Nice. Meanwhile, over here on the other side, Dengwoo was suffering against this pack of sorcerers that he can't seem to get away from.
And it looks like the sorcerers have poison touch.
Yeah. He is getting brutally attacked by these guys. Hopefully he can get them down soon, but they seem to be dodging all of the attacks from the ninja. And he gets wiped out from them by a Fire 2, decides not to go solo with that fighter, resets and tries again.
And on HN, Highspirits side, he managed to get the cube from the chest in the Castle Orleans.
Lovely, that's good. That's half of what he needs to get into Sky. Sky. If he can get that chime soon, I would say making the play in there and seeing if the key is still lurking in there would be great. He might be go before too long, and that's what he wants to see.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's a tale of two different kinds of parties right here. You can see Highspirits took some time, got all of his characters leveled up to somewhere in the 10 to 11 range right now. Meanwhile, Dengwoo is trying to get a deep dive going on in Ice with only a level 6 party.
Yeah. That's definitely a risk that Dengwoo's taking with this strat.
Well, you gotta play risky if you want to play this game at this level.
I have to agree.
Looks like Highspirits is finally putting some charges on his ninja. Gotta get him ready to go equipping soon. because he's within a couple levels at this point of starting to get charges for the ninja. Cannot complain about that.
Definitely.
So we have a question. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say we have a question in chat from. We have a question in chat from Dual Musashi Dual that was asking about the wait command that you sometimes see. In the original game, if you fought against an unrunnable enemy, you didn't know if they were unrunnable or not. There was just nothing there to tell you. But because we randomized, or shuffled, I guess I should say, what is unrunnable and what isn't, the devs added in a wait command anytime there instead of the run, so that you know what's unrunnable and what isn't without having to have everything memorized.
Yeah, and that kind of saved my butt many times when it comes to randomized.
You and me both. I mean, even just in the default game, when you're not sure what might be unrunnable and what isn't, that's just a useful thing. Dengwoo's coming over here to the Sand Palace, gonna see whether or not he can pull an enemy that's worth killing. I think he's hoping for some Tyros, or... All he's getting is Ankylos, though. Nothing but Ankylos, as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, and kilos actually did about 199 to Dengwoo's live White Wizard before he reset.
Yeah, they pack quite the punch right there. After 4 times of 3 packs of Ankylos followed by a red Ankylo, he's out. So Highspirits coming back in, gotta check out the level 2 shops. Finish out his spells for his knight and his ninja. Smart move right there. And Viz 2 is lovely to see this early. Exit on the knight, maybe not as useful at this point if you're keeping all 4 alive. And gonna get that warp and that quad X, I'm sure, for the ninja while he's at it. So Dengwoo's gonna get all the same great gear that Highspirits saw here. And he's gonna try and get very far away from these sorcerers, because they're just ugly. Cerberus trap tile. That's nice.
Honestly,
although they seem a bit beefy.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that these seem just a tad beefy. What were you gonna point out?
I don't know why the people who made this game spelled Cerberus wrong.
Well, it's...
Go ahead.
It's a loose translation. There's a lot of this bad English in the early Japanese to English games. Plus, bear in mind, of course, there's also the fact that you have only so many characters for enemy names.
Yeah. I didn't expect that. I thought they would have just said Cerberus in this kind of game.
Well, typos happen, unfortunately. But hey, it's not a big deal now. And we got Highspirits heading off into the waterfall. Big move. Finds a Ghasty, trying to see if he thinks he can take it out, and then decides not to. Can't blame him for that. They tend to have a lot of health. But it's nice to see them again. There was a while there where the Ghasties weren't showing up in here, because the encounter table was just a little broken.
Almost
Gets the Ghasty.
Almost every encounter is usually broken these days.
After 2 rounds of combat, gets that Ghasty down, gets an extra little bit of a level on that ninja. Lovely to see. Meanwhile, Dengwoo's made it to the top of Castle Ordeals and is going to be able to collect the treasure in here. You were going to say, Kevin?
Apparently, Ghasties are actually worth a lot more experience than most enemy things.
Oh yeah, no, the dragons tend to be worth a decent amount, and Ghasties are one of the best packs you can find. That's part of the reason why they're so useful to get in Temple of Fiends, because they're worth so much if you want to kill them. That said, they were the pack that broke the experience table for the game originally. The experience is factored differently in the game now than it was even a year or so ago. And that's partially because the Ghasties, they're worth so much experience that they actually looped on themselves and didn't, the word is failing me, but they went back from being worth a lot when you got 4 of them to worth almost nothing because their experience number went all the way around and back again. So they've changed how experience is factored now, and the Ghasties are actually worth what they should be worth, when you kill 4 of them. Dengwoo gets his cube. Meanwhile, Highspirits is here in the waterfall room. Gonna see what it is that's here for the treasure and what the robot has. And it's the ruby. So that's another turn-in they can do. Find out what the Titan has, because Titan is incentivized. So that's one more turn-in they can handle.
Well, they also got to consider the key. Because the key is somewhere...
Mm-hmm.
Could...
We're just a key and a chime away from go mode, and they could both be loose for all.
Yeah. For example, key could be back in the Earth Cave. It could be in sometime. It could probably be in the bottom of volcano where Carrie is. It could be in the mermaid section or the Sharknado of the sea shrine, or it could be in anywhere in the sky temple.
Yeah, it basically can show up anywhere at this point that isn't locked, because it can't block itself, especially since you need it. So it's an instance where you really want to find that key soon, because if you don't, then you're just searching around forever. It looks like Dengwoo's doing a Castle Ordeal's yard play. He's going to go off killing some enemies for a little while here. Get some charges and some levels. He found a great spot for Sarias. That's his 3rd Saria in a row. They're not... I don't think they're worth quite as much as an Agama, but they are easy to kill, and when you can pull them like this, power cycle and get another 3, that is smart money right there.
And in the treasure trove for Titan, Highspirits got the crystal.
Want to thank Edge for coming in with a raid from his channel. Thank you very much, Edge.
And now Highspirits is turning the crystal into Meteor.
Good catch.
Which actually leads to an adamant.
So it just keeps on keeping on right here. What he's hoping is that when this is done, wherever it leads to, he gets one of the 2 key items that's still missing. He doesn't want to have to go searching for more loose than is absolutely necessary. And right now, we haven't found any loose. There's another fetch quest. Leads on into the crown.
And hopefully this crown will lead to the key, maybe. Or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, key or chime. That's what he's looking for right now. But remember in chat, when you see the dwarves, make sure you say, hooray. Dengwoo, interestingly, is going to check the Oasis. That's a strange move right there, because we already found the shop item.
No. Never mind. Apparently, Ostos was holding the door hammer.
Womp womp. That was a long play for not much. Although, considering our lack of AoE, even the Thor hammer, which is normally quite a womp, is not a bad...
Yeah, I agree. Plus, the door hammer could be equipped by a white mage anyway. Or white wizard.
So in case you're wondering, this is not a mistake. Dengwoo really is going with 2 characters right now. He wants all the experience he can get on these 2 guys, and he's basically taking every fight that comes his way that he can clear out. Wouldn't be surprised if he even goes battling those Gasties when he gets them. Meanwhile, Highspirits is struggling to take out Astos.
Looks like Astos is a buffer.
Quite swole. Dengwoo gets a nice mummy pack. Gonna swing at those whiz mummies while I think the ninja is set up to use the mage staff. as the Dual Musashi Duel says in chat, Asto gives you the Thor hammer and is basically like, here, use this to kill me, why don't you? And they did.
That should be a good catchphrase.
Kill me! He was very happy to have you do it too. He encouraged it. He gave you what you needed for it. He was like, use this. Come on, this isn't difficult. Come on. Dengwoo, meanwhile, gets yet another of these packs. Going to get more delicious experience off of them. And yeah, you are seeing that right. Dengwoo is already up to level 17 because he's playing 2-man and taking every fight he can get.
Well, it looks like Highspirits is like. Well, I think Highspirits was trying to do a go to on rack, but fortunately he keeps on getting encounters every time, so he stopped that.
Yeah, as chat also points out, he was heading towards Sea and Waterfall but decided to nope out. I understand that play. Dengwoo deciding he doesn't want to fight the EXPs, gets 2 packs in a row of them, and bails on it. Now he's diving in deeper, and I think he's already cleared out... I thought he'd already cleared out parts of the top floor. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Highspirits. I got myself confused there. Highspirits is coming to Volcano, finally. Going to do that. Now with a Thor Hammer and a Mage Staff, this is going to be actually a slightly easier clear for him.
And apparently Highspirits equipped the Thor Hammer to his white mage by the name of House or something like that.
Yeah, that's something to remember. The white mage can, in fact, use the Thor Hammer as a weapon. So it's not just great AoE when you don't have any other AoE to use. It is also an equipable weapon they can swing, and sometimes, in a party like this, everyone swinging whatever they can is very useful.
Of course, the Thor Hammer can only be equipped by a white wizard, not white mage.
Yes.
That's pretty much locked.
You're right. You're right. I'm very bad about just calling them all white mages.
It's understandable.
Oof, that stun touch from those Frost Gators and Caribs. That sucks.
Oh yeah, those are very dangerous. You know,
But he gets through. Level 18. Really trucking on right there.
the most ironic thing is, I don't think any of these guys have ever ran into an enemy that uses crack or anything else just yet.
I mean, let's not commentator curse them. I'm sure that'll happen soon. Highspirits finally gets a 4-pack of these EXPs he decides he wants to take, clears out all of them, and that's a nice stack of experience, getting him up to level 13.
Yeah, that's pretty good right there.
Dengwoo just can't stop getting red Caribs and Frost Gators, gets him all the way up to level 19. He's really managed to figure out that you get 3 of the same encounter off that first grind. So whatever you get, if it's good, fight all 3 of them.
I wouldn't be surprised if Highspirits went through a whole dive on this whole volcano.
Oh, at level 13, and he'll probably be closer to like level 15, 16 by the time he's done. He's got Invis 2 charges, he's got some spells on his warriors. I think that's probably a fair observation. He'll come in here, he'll dive this first floor, he'll go out and save to get his charges back, and then he'll continue onwards, because that's just the play to make.
Dengwoo went to Armrak and now is in the Sea Shrine doing his dive.
Mm-hmm. Got a good run off of that Bane sword. That's one nice thing about the Arce Hags. They may show up late here in this dungeon, but they're really an opening sea area monster. So if you find them, bear in mind their MDef isn't that great. They really can't resist poison smoke that well, as he saw, because he killed all but 2 of them with that first blast. And now he gets to do it again.
Apparently, the Sahags are actually missing very often.
Good thing, because when they do hit, they have stun touch. Decides the Bane Sword's not worth it with that stun touch, uses Lit 2 to clear out the last 2, and then moves on. Good job.
Smart play, if I say so myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Dengwoo's actually heading into the diving in the mermaid area.
You know, it's the incentivized side. He's going to clear the chest, it looks like, out of the way first that he can find, and then do the mermaid so that he can just warp straight out, save, and do it all over again. But, you know, down in the other direction. I would not be surprised if he does the Kraken dive here, because he's here, he can clear it. It's going to be a tough fight, because he doesn't really have Brack or anything to go with it, but the Bane Sword and a Swole Fighter should be good enough.
I agree.
Ooh, these gray sharks don't have much health at all. Lovely. So Highspirits is going to get all that good gear that Dengwoo found here. Those bracelets, the pro rings, just the opal shield. It's a really nice setup for what he has right now. He's going to feel real good about this dive after he's done. I would not be surprised to see him save first after he's done here, because that's just smart money.
Yep.
There we go. Exit. Drop a house. Go back in, and he's ready to do the rest of this now. So it looks like Dengwoo is suffering a little bit from these waters, trying to get through this pack. Due to the fact that they've stun touched both of them. Rough. There we go. Finally gets them down. Gets like a cool 5 grand off there. Gets all the way up to level 21. Woo! That's nice. And an ice sword for ice shield for his trouble. Good gear for that ninja.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Just basically using his 2 white mages as bags of holding. Well, dual Masashi duel. You say all that for an ice shield, and that's it. But I mean, that was also 4 levels, and he still actually hasn't. Ow! Lightning 3 on that gray shark. He still hasn't actually made it to the mermaid side yet.
And
second he makes it there.
And on Highspirits side, he managed to get the key.
Over here in Volcano?
Yes.
Very nice. This is part of the reason why I really like an early Volcano dive. There's good chest density. The game kind of weighs putting something in there for it. Oh, and the wizard staff. It's not an item you use very often because it casts Confuse, and most enemies don't seem to care much about Confuse. One enemy that does, though, is Carry.
Oh yeah, that could probably get her. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure that can throw her off her.
Yeah, you can confuse her, and then she'll just punch herself for a while instead of attacking you. She'll get over it eventually after a few rounds, but like when you can get it to work, it's fantastic. I see Dengwoo is down to 1 warrior now. 6,000 on his app, and he gets all the way up to level 23 now, I think I read. And he's into the mermaid side. Unfortunately, he does have to walk back out, but he gets the defense sword. There's a good pickup. And because it's the best sword he has right now, he immediately equips it on his fighter. And there's the slab. Now, thing is, they are still looking for that chime. So if slab leads to chime, we'll be in no mode. Each of the players will have to do what the other one's doing to finish this out. But that's not unexpected. Dengwoo's going to come to Volcano before too long because it's an easy dungeon to clear out for him at this point. And Highspirits is more than likely going to come over to Sea Shrine before too long because it's incentivized. But they don't have go mode yet, so they're going to have to check everything.
Yeah, and plus Highspirits is almost in go mode anyway, because all he needs is a chime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wherever this chime may be. And where Dengwoo right now is hoping that the slab leads to chime or key, because he doesn't know that key is down in the bottom of Volcano. Well, midpoint of Volcano.
Very true.
And he's leaving. Is that just a save? Maybe getting a few more levels off of these whatever's here? Trying to see what's here? Spurting the first encounter so he can get into Sea Shrine and start moving on with his day. Smart move right there. Veteran move, in fact.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a pro cape, but who really cares about that when you're not even keeping your white mages up?
Yeah, I agree. And we got Highspirits now go after Kid.
He's going to be the first to attempt one of these fiends right here. Going to see if he can get through on this. Looks like he's swinging, maybe swinging. No fade charges yet from the look of it. Gonna cast some Invis 2 and a Mage Stick. Does 25 damage. Not a whole lot, but Carrie can't have that much health. 33 from the Ninja, and then a bigger shot from the Fighter for 97. But Carrie comes over the top of all of that, hits that White Mage for 217. Like, no, not in my house. I'm gonna back row you. Cure 4 comes out, brings that Ninja or White Mage back up. Carrie swings out with some chip damage of Fire 2. Fighter brings 3 hits for 113 damage. Another round of Invis is coming out to try and protect those White Mages. And then the Ninja follows up with 3 hits for 40 damage. Getting the hits, not quite getting the damage behind it, but that Ninja will be coming up soon for this. Another Cure 4 replenishes the Ninja. 24 hits on a single, 24 damage on a single hit. That's not fun at all. And then a Hold comes out and stuns that Fighter. That was the powerhouse there. Thor Hammer does chip damage. Ninja does chip damage. Mage Staff does chip damage. And we're back around again. Slow comes out. Looks like it hits both the warriors. Ugh. Gross. Everyone's now just swinging. 3 hits for 70. Okay, the Fighter didn't get slow on him. Good. Ninja misses, and we're on for yet another round. This is a long slog of a battle here. Tries the Bane, that fails. 2 hits for 69. Dark comes out. That's really not scary, though. That's a good free round there for them. Another swing. 2 hits for 33. Bane Sword comes out again. Does not affect. Sleep 2 comes out and misses. And then White Mage is not doing any killing. Carrie casts fast. That's actually kind of scary. Bane again does nothing. Fighter swings for 2 hits for 51 damage. Another, and then Carrie's background on her spell list and comes out with the Fire 2 again, from the looks of it. 1 hit for 34 and a Bane. He really needs fast. He really needs to get his characters up and swinging more hits. 9 hits for 78 damage from Carrie. Bane comes out as ineffective. 3 hits for 124, and finally, Carrie 1 is on the ground. But before he can light the orb, he gets hit by a Wiz Ogre Pack. Cremate, and then a run. A little bit of chip damage on him, but he's out, and at that point, Highspirits is the first to officially light an orb at 48 minutes, 38 seconds. GG to spell Highspirits for that, and we're moving on to deeper into the seed. Woo!
Yep. Now with the key, he could check age.
Not much of anything.
Yeah, but a good amount of gold.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't think either of our players are really hurting for money now. They bought most of what they care about. So it's just like, I mean, you see right there, Highspirits has over 100 grand. All he really needs at this point is heal pots and houses. Ninja's on his knees. Dengwoo's getting him back up, though. Still checking for items. I was so busy on that carry fight, I haven't seen if there's been anything useful found on the other side.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that. I haven't seen anything.
Dual Musashi Duel asks, how often are the Temple of Fiends chests checked, since they're so spaced apart and there's the monster spawns? If we're talking the top floor, usually the left side that is unlocked is checked, because it's just easy to get to, and you are hoping that there's going to be something useful for you to use in the early game. Late in the seed, unless they're still really searching for a loose item, the locked side of Topher is not checked nearly as much. It's not impossible to see it, but not as much.
Now we have Highspirits heading into already in the dwarf cave, looking at the treasures to see what's in.
And if you listen closely, you can hear the song of our people as Dengwoo was letting that fighter sit in his poison status. Ooh, something here has frost. That's gross. Unfortunately, that Bane Sword is less useful this late in the seed, just because, you know, most of the monsters have the MDF to resist it. Didn't seem much useful here. Maybe a Pro Cape, that was it, that was worth getting over at the Dwarf Cave.
You know?
And Dengwoo continues to take every fight he can because his entire party scheme hinges on him having all the levels possible. I think him entering into Topher at the mid-30s is probably the minimum that we should expect. Not a whole heck of a lot over here at Canaria's treasury.
Yep. If I may, didn't Highspirits skip Ice Cavern? Because
I don't recall him going deep inside it. No. Yeah, I actually don't think either of our players made it all the way through just because they kept getting bounced. But I'm sure they'll go back because there's still a key item lurking in there. However, Dengwoo has found the holy grail of spike tiles. That is the third eye grind. They're usually not all that difficult to kill, and they are worth a lot of experience.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best tiles you can find in the game.
Definitely. Those are
if you're used to the... You're going to say?
Those are one of the best ones I ever encountered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're used to the vanilla game, you might be wondering why people would want to grind on these, because the eyes can be quite scary with all their death attacks. But because everything is shuffled here, the eyes generally don't have much that can be scary that's still left on them. And as you can see, they're just basically punching for like a slappy one hit apiece for 1 damage. This is a great tile. And Dengwoo's just like, I'm just going to be here a while. I'm up to level 27, why not further?
And on Highspirits side, we saw the white spell heal 3 at level 7 on on.
They do at least have Cure 4. I honestly don't expect them to worry much about anything. Ooh, the nice triple shot of Bane right there, taking out all those eyes as quickly as possible. Lovely.
Definitely. But anyway, Highspirits gotten heal 3 for both his white wizards, just for I think for the fivers.
Well, if you do end up getting level 7 charges, which you're not going to have a lot, may as well have something to do with them. Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point of bringing them?
Very true. You know what's funny? I haven't seen them visit the town that has level 5 spells.
Melmond? Yeah, they haven't gone there. Dengwoo just found the slab here. Highspirits is going to get it. I think the Melmond dive is going to happen as soon as they decide to go turn that in. But Dengwoo wants all the levels ever right now. He knows he has to go fight Kraken while he's down here. He does not want to get caught unawares. Goes until that tile basically stops being worth anything. And now he's up above 600 health for that fighter. That is glorious right there. And he got it while he could, because, let's face it, he's not going to come back here. That tile is only in that spot. He's not going to want to dive C again just this deeply just to get that one tile.
Well, it looks like Mage is not doing much to this. Aha.
Yeah, the Mage staff isn't going to because they're water enemies. They don't care much about fire magic.
Now, Thor, on the other hand, is doing some good.
Super useful. That's their weakness. The Bane Sword is a fantastic sword, if you're wondering in chat, just because of how useful it can be. Normally, when you get it, it's so late in the game, it's not useful to use it because of the enemies, but when you have it this early, you can make it do some serious work. So it throws out the defense, throws out the Bane. Bane, I believe, has like a 16% chance of actually succeeding against Kraken. Gonna get buffs, gonna start swinging. 10 hits for 220. Another swing, 10 hits for 339. Doesn't even get a chance to use that Quad X. Kraken was paper, falls down, gives his fighters 30 levels there, or 30 levels total. He's at level 30. There we go. Accidentally has to deal with a Grey Shark on the way out. And now he's going to go do some item buying because he needs to replenish his heal pots.
And Highspirits got his defense sword now.
It's a great sword. It's the best one they have. It casts ruse on the person using it, so that's 2 shots of invis on them instantly. But it's also dealing good damage for them since they haven't found a sword better than it. I'd be surprised if they end up using it in the late game because I'm expecting to find something slightly better for damage. But if they have to run through the whole game with it, they can. It's there.
And Highspirits has his slab.
And it's a credit to Dengwoo that he's doing all this work with 2 characters and doing all these grinds, fighting all these packs, but he is still keeping ahead of Highspirits. Now that he has that ruby, he's going to go do his turn in, get that long chain going, which is only going to lead to a Thor hammer, but at the same time, I think this is worth about another bonus 20 experience here for every pack, so if he's going to continue fighting everything, he's going to get some real good experience off of them. Yep, there's that crystal, going to lead to the adamant, going to lead to the crown, going to lead to the Thor hammer, going to lead to some experience, and not much else. But he'll do it because he kind of has to. And while he's here, now we're going to get our Melman. Instantly learn a language in 5 seconds or less. Thank you, Dr. Un. Doesn't even bother with the Melman spells. Can't use them on the ninja. Doesn't care. Moving on.
Well, on Highspirits' side, it looks like he's actually heading towards Leifenheim to turn in the enchanted slab, or translated slab.
Did he get it translated?
Yes.
Good. I missed that point. So excellent. That'll be one more check that we can check off the list. He's really praying it's the chime so he can go mode this. Dengwoo not even bothering to check all the chests that are down below. He is ready to just go mode this as fast as he can. He's hoping he doesn't have to check much else. That the slab and this item here are going to lead to it. We know the key is not going to be part of this quest chain. And now he has the bad news too.
Yeah. Because once Highspirits gets a chime, he's in go mode.
Well, we won't know yet. Yep. Won't know yet because it's the herb, but we'll see soon. Are we going to be digging for one more item or not?
Well, if I'm correct, this might lead to the chime itself, if lucky.
Could. If you're lucky. Because there's still the Power Bonk and the Opal O out there as well, and this chain could lead to that instead.
True. You can never ignore any simple possibilities.
Mm-mm. My first game of this whole tournament, I took the gambles that were there because I was really hoping the quest chains would lead out to what was supposed to... what should have been a key item, and unfortunately it did not. A question in chat about whether or not Dengwoo checked the Matoya chests. I believe both of them checked them early on when they did their first pass through the area, just because they were hoping to find an item that was useful. Turning in that herb, we'll find out it is the Opal O, which isn't really what they wanted. They wanted it to be the chime, but it is good gear. I think even, honestly, Dengwoo will be happy to see that one. If he decides to have a mage up later, it's going to be decent gear for them. Best gear for them.
Well, Highspirits pretty much equipped it to his second white.
So Deng has to decide where to go. We know that what he wants to do is go to Volcano next to at least get the key turned in. So does he reset out of this herb, or does he keep it? He doesn't even bother with it.
Well, we now have
Exits out.
Highspirits.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We
now
gotta do it. It's incentivized. You gotta do it. Dengwoo's right there, right on his tail. They're both gonna be in here because they're hoping to find the next key item. And this is good for Dengwoo, because if he sticks around here after finishing this out, he's more than likely going to go hit Volcano next, get his key, and if Chime is down in this dungeon, he's going to be in go mode. Of course, if Chime is down in this dungeon, Highspirits is going to be in go mode.
Yep. Highspirits is pretty much one step ahead right now.
He is, but they are also tied with orbs, and Dengwoo has taken out the I would say the more difficult of the two, because he took out Kraken. Survey says it is time. There we go. Highspirits is in go mode. Only that means that the loose item that's still out there is the power bonk, the power gauntlet that casts Saber. I don't think. I mean, if they find it, they'll be happy, but I don't think either of them is going to go digging for it. It is now just a question of whether or not they feel they have good enough gear, because they don't have any ribbons, as far as I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I might be wrong. Highspirits may have found one in Volcano.
I didn't see it though, so that's the only.
So Highspirits is going to continue digging down here, as is Dengwoo. You can see Dengwoo's actually passing Highspirits on the path, because he doesn't have to take these levels, so he can bail out. Dengwoo doing his search mode. Doesn't even care about the Gurpeed at this point. He must feel real comfortable with his levels after that third eye grind.
Yeah, I would be the same too. Feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, 4 guest D's would be even better, because they grant about over probably 6K per after battle when you have every key item.
Dengwoo a little salty right there, finding the canal down here.
Oh yeah,
Just a little salty.
yeah. I know that happened to me too.
Yeah, so he has the chime in the cube. If he's smart, because he's here, he'll go take out Volcano so he doesn't have to come back down, and that will lead him to the key. He still has 2 loose on the table. And he needs to do that, because if he decides to go anywhere else and keep searching for the key, he is going to be bleeding time off to Highspirits.
Well, apparently, HS managed to face off against Batman, who actually have poison type.
Lovely! There's a flame shield. Pair that up with the ice shield if you want, or the ice armor. Yeah. Wow, throws away the opal. Interesting. Yeah, there's no ribbons in his inventory right there. He's really hoping for something good. Oh, no, no, south! South, Dengwoo, go south! Well, Dengwoo's doing the play most of us would do eventually. He's going to Sky. Unfortunately, we know that the key is not in here.
Yeah, that's gonna be a... Well,
That's a bit of a hurt right there.
Yeah. This will be either a hit or a miss when it comes to finding a good ribbon or something.
Yeah, he might find the ribbons here.
Oh, very
And I
true.
mean, he may be happy with that, and he might even find endgame swords. He might find, well, there's a ribbon and a shield. Like, 2 great items all ready for him. The gear is here, no doubt about it. But, like... Still feel bad for him. There we go. He's rearranging, getting his stuff set up so he gets better elemental protections on his characters. I mean, it's going to be fruitful for treasure. He may even get a bunch of treasure that Highspirits doesn't get because Highspirits can go mode this. But...
It seems Highspirits is pretty much doing the dive as well.
I mean, you got the items. You got the key items. The experience is good here. What Dengwoo needs is for Highspirits to decide he needs to dig out 3 ribbons and a better endgame sword. The longer that Highspirits sits in here digging chests while Dengwoo is sitting not in go mode, the better off Dengwoo is. I mean, he's got the levels. He can take out Tiamat when he gets up here. It's just, well, there's the Maza. There's that endgame sword we wanted. Throws it on his ninja. Gonna be very happy. And another ribbon. Woo! This is like everything you want. He's gonna bust out. He's gonna save. Bounce back in. Start digging sky. Cheesy in chat asking if this is a party draft. It is indeed a party draft. Highspirits picked a White Mage. Dengwoo picked a Fighter Thief. Highspirits, for the lulz, then decided to pick another White Mage. I think both of them would have been very happy to have a Black Mage at this point, because Fade is at level 6, and most of the good spells aren't in the early levels. I'm not even certain they found a life yet. It's probably level 7 and level 8 for both.
Well, they still haven't checked the level 5 spell houses.
This is true, and Dengwoo's never going to check it. Life 2 is at level 5. Thank you, MG Weirdo. Our tracker doing a fantastic job while I'm sitting here, like, ignoring everything that's going on. And the X-Cal sitting there in the chest here on the right side of the plus symbol. So Dengwoo's going to take that too, because it is at least better damage than the defense sword. Can't blame him for that. And what's working to his favor right now is it does indeed seem like Highspirits is taking all the fights that he can. He's dealing with all the enemies that he can, all the treasures. I mean, everyone's going to take the eye when you see it because you know they're not worth that much, or that they're not that strong. I mean, so yeah. But this is slowing down Highspirits, and it's giving Dengwoo time to keep ahead. And he's taking this one because it's actually worth decent experience. And they're kittens right now, punching for nothing. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the play for this for either of them. Obviously, this is a great play for Highspirits to make because he's basically in go whenever he decides to be. Dengwoo just needed to go to Volcano, and I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself when he realizes that, even though, great gear in here. But he probably could have been done checking chests the second he was done with the greater than, less than downstairs. Thinks about grabbing the katana, decides not to. Gonna stick with that Masamune. Which one would you have used, Kevin? Would you have gone with the Maz, or would you have picked up that katana?
Well, if I could find the Maza, I would have been able to use the katana until I found it.
Oh, in a heartbeat, absolutely. But when you have both, what's your preference?
I would have said Masa.
Fair enough. I think for my money, I probably would have kept both, and I might have moved the X-Cal off my knight instead. I think Katana on Ninja and X-Cal or Maza on the Fighter is the best way to go there.
Yeah, very true. But there are also some that can that actually equip Maza to a different class.
Yeah, the big problem with the X-Cal is it's going to be great for you, like, through most of this. But once you get up to Tiamat 2 and Chaos, they don't really care about any of the bonuses from the Excal, and suddenly it's not worth nearly as much as some of the other swords you could be swinging.
Yep.
So, I mean, even if you're not going to use the katana immediately, I think I would have picked it up and then kept it around for the last 2 fights of the game. That way, if you had to swing with both your warriors, you could swing with swords the bosses actually cared about.
I definitely agree with what you said, Rare. I would do the same thing.
Oof, that ninja's getting beat up. Unfortunately, he can't get away from this fight. And the heirs do not want to be hit by anything.
And that's the big thing about heirs. They could be very bulky, and they could be very, very dangerous if left alone.
As evidenced by the fact that he has 11 health left on that ninja and really needs the heir to die. Finally, it does. Time to heal.
Yep.
Heir 2 OP. Please nerf, as the chat is saying. So there's that Masamune. He's going to have a second ribbon here soon. And then we're going to see what Highspirits decide he wants to do past this point.
Well, apparently Highspirits now has already equipped the Masamune onto his fight.
Mm-hmm. There's a third ribbon here, which Dengwoo doesn't even care about because he only is using 2 players. So Dengwoo needs Highspirits to keep checking chests. That is imperative for him. Because, I mean, Highspirits even has 2 ribbons. Highspirits could be go right now and just ignore everything else.
Yeah, right. And those vampires are really being a pain in his butt.
Mm-hmm. But they're great experience.
Very true.
I mean, that's what he needs right now is the levels, as our tracker keeps reminding me. Even though I understand he needs the levels. But, like, you're in Go. How soon do you end your Go? How much, and doing a walking grind and taking chests, that's an easy way to get your levels for your Go. But when he decides he wants to put on the gas, that's when Dengwoo's going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And apparently the Chimeras are actually worth a good amount of experience when you're facing them in 3 or...
Oh, yeah. No, Chimeras are great. There's our final loose item. That's the or Power Gauntlet right there. Pro Gauntlet.
Or how we call it, Power Bonk.
Mm-hmm.
And now Highspirits has equipped his ninja with the katana.
He's still thinking. Dengwoo is still spinning there with his gears, trying to decide what he wants to do.
And it looks like he's ignoring it. Basically on Highspirits' side.
His Blood 77 asking in chat, how does the randomizer work? Or, how does the Final Fantasy randomizer work? Well, you put the ROM in, and then basically everything in the game is shuffled. And it really is just about everything is shuffled or randomized. About the only things that don't get randomized are most of the levels and the overworld. And, if you want to play deeply enough, you can get, we have Spellcrafter and Randomizer that OFD worked, that created, and if you turn those on, even the enemies and the spells get shuffled and randomized. It is across the board a full tilt randomizer. It can randomize almost as much as anything. Dengwoo just a few steps ahead of Highspirits right here.
But now Highspirits is pretty much catching up.
He is, but he still needs to get some levels.
Oh yeah! Everyone pull out your ring. Bless RNG, everybody. These 2 are at the ring, or at the Bridge of Destiny. Will we see either of them face off against Mormek?
Dengwoo getting stuck with this unrunnable air pack. Thankfully for him, so does Highspirits, but this is just a waste of time and resources. because these airs rolled kind of beefy and they do a lot of damage. You can tell Dengwoo really wants to get moving on this, but this pack does not want to let him go.
Ooh, air with a nuke.
Oh! Nuclear winter! Oh! Oh!
Straight on.
One of them's still alive! One of them is still...
Sorry.
He is desperately trying to figure out what to do there because that was not good. And they have heat!
Ouch.
Oh. Thankfully, they're down. He has managed to kill that, but that is going to give him serious pause now. Nuclear winter airs. Woo! That is some fallout right there. And unfortunately, that pack actually let Highspirits take the lead.
Yeah. If Highspirits survives this, I will have to give him props.
Oh, he could. He's got Bane and he's got a strong warrior. Oh, stun touch! No! No!
Ouch.
Oh my god, that is heartbreaking! That is absolutely heartbreaking!
Let's just hope he saved after getting the ribbon.
I mean, he may have saved after the bottom floor, but I don't think he exited after the greater than, less than, so... He may just have to dip down and do that again. That was just rough.
Yeah.
And while Tiamat's punching hard here, he doesn't stun the warrior this time.
Yeah, considering the warrior has a ribbon on.
Yeah, the touch effects can go right through a ribbon. They don't care about ribbons at all. But it's just a completely different game there. Benefited mostly because of the fact that Dengwoo's warrior has a whole lot more levels, so he has the M-Def to actually shrug off the touch effect.
That was a rough one for Highspirits. A nuke knocking out straight 3 of his own characters. And leaving the fighter alive.
Well, and that makes a case for just how much the grind that Dengwoo did and the levels that he got, because he could take that nuke and not die from it, but Dengwoo's trying to figure out what he missed. He could take that nuke and not die from it, but Highspirits just doesn't have the levels to survive it the same way. And having killed the air, we need to make sure we get that air orb lit for him. And Dengwoo needs to go over to Volcano. Dengwoo, go to Volcano. Dang, go to Volcano, Dang, go to Volcano. Only one shop item, Dang. I'm sure he knows. I'm just giving him a hard time because he was giving me a hard time earlier.
Yeah, I get the idea.
Whew. And it seems like those nuclear airs, the fallout from them is spread all across that bridge because they both got them on different encounter cycles. So they are quite prevalent and unrunnable. That is just a brutal pack to have to get. This is the edge, though, that Dengwoo needed.
Yep. And now Dengwoo's at the thing. Basically, Volcano.
So, of course, Deng has to go full clear this, which helps Highspirits a little, gets a chance to slowly catch back up again.
Yep.
His Blood 77 asking a chat why Deng was keeping 2 of his team members dead. That is because it's worth more experience to him for the 2 that are alive. Final Fantasy, in fact, I think it's pretty much every single game in the whole series, takes the amount of experience you get and divides it among all the party members that are left standing. So, since he only has 2 party members, those two are getting double the experience bonus that then Highspirits is with all 4 of them. And since the spells off the white mages weren't that fantastic, right now he feels like it's just better off to just leave him on the ground and get all the experience he can on 2 warriors. I think he's actually like level 37 now, or somewhere in that range. So that's, you can see how it's working. Highspirits is in like the high teens. Dengwoo's in the mid 30s. It's like the benefits of it are just paying off. And there it is. There is his key. Does he even bother checking anything else? No. Dengwoo is in go mode. Dengwoo is just going to beeline straight through this, then make his way over to Earth, and beeline straight through that. So he is in a fantastic position right now to be able to deal with everything that's coming his way. He may bring up the 2 white mages at white wizards for the Temple of Fiends dive, but I think up to that point, if these two are just going to be running straight through everything. .489 hits followed up by 489 damage followed up by 689 damage, and a carry that took Highspirits a good while to kill. Dies in 2 sword swings from Dengwoo's walking tanks, and he is already making his way over to Earth Cave. 3 orbs down, 1 to go for Dengwoo, and I don't think this Earth Cave... No, Commentator Curse, albeit, I don't think this Earth Cave is going to prove all that much of a difficulty for Dengwoo at all.
Well, it looks like Highspirits is going to try to go at it alone again.
Dengwoo getting the dangbats getting in his way, not letting him get through where he wants to go. Come on, Highspirits. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No!
Ouch. Another nuke. That hurts.
I feel so bad for Highspirits. So bad. Like, at what point do you just feel like you need to go somewhere else and get some levels? I mean, if he goes into C and he finds that 3rd eye grind tile, he's going to be kicking himself for not doing some grinding there. But, like, his Blood 77 asks if the enemy attacks are also random. They are shuffled. Somewhere in the game, and I can't remember what monster it is that had the nuke, that nuke has just decided to land on the heirs, and since what is unrunnable and what isn't is also shuffled, the heirs both became unrunnable and nuclear. And that's just been Highspirits' struggle right there. Thank you, MG Weirdo, saying that the badmen may have been the ones with nuke. Or evil men, whichever one. I'll agree with that, that's more than likely. It's probably the evil men, because the badmen actually show up in Topher in large packs. And I wouldn't expect a large pack enemy to have nuke. Despite how evil this game is on the original NES cart, I don't think it's that evil. So in the time it took for us to explain that, Dengwoo was already all the way through the Earth Cave. He's about to go take on Lich. Everyone say hi to Lich. Comes out with dark. Everyone say goodbye to Lich.
Yep. A few hits from 345. The Earth orb has been lit, and Lich is already down for the count.
The only question we really have is whether or not Dengwoo even bothers to bring up the white mages. And since he's landing here in town, I'm betting you there's a chance. Yeah, the EXP in the original NES version of this game was really bad. Like, it took a while to grind up on anything. When you play the randomizer, you'll notice by default it's somewhere in the 2.5 times experience range. That's just to try and make the game slightly more playable. If you play the original game, you can spend hours on the Circle C grinding for the levels you need just to make it through. So there is no white mages for this. This is going to be a 2-man dive, and Dengwoo is going to continue to take every fight he can that's worthwhile. This pack is too big. Don't bother.
Looks like Highspirits actually made a wise decision. After getting the second ribbon, he decided to exit out and save.
And I think that was that the room that also had the Masamune in it?
Yeah.
Mirage 2, yeah. So yeah, he got his sword, he got his second ribbon, he has the gear. Now if he has to keep doing this dive, at least he doesn't have to do that floor over and over again. That's a smart play.
I will say this: Highspirits was the reason why I joined the tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he inspired me to try my best to be really good at randomizers, especially when it comes to FFR.
That is very cool. These Frosties are beefy and do not want to be hit by anything. If he can keep this white mage alive, Highspirits is going to be in a much better position. Ouch! And then it gets hold cast on it, because this game has no mercy. No mercy whatsoever.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Just cannot catch a break against these airs. They will not be hit. There we go, finally! 217 damage. See if we can get Fade to actually kill it off this time. Nope. These are the worst, I swear. There we go, that air is done. Now we can finally focus on that Gurnaga and really take it out. And I hope that this is the last we see of the nuclear winter airs. No more fallout.
Yeah.
Oh man, that wasn't even on the floor! Ugh, and he wants that third ribbon, so he's gonna keep grabbing for that. I mean, I understand the play. Oh, he wants the katana too. I understand the play, but at this point, I'm like, I want to take as few steps as possible, so I don't have to see any more airs than as absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I have to agree with that kind of point.
Dengwoo's just about to get up to Lich 2. Gonna get our first second Fiend pull. Everyone say hi to Lich 2. Oh!
Oh, nuke!
Apparently my mouth got us in trouble. That's some nuke right there. And Tornado. Lich was not having any of that. I'm here to waste your resources.
Yeah, I had to agree. That was something we were not expecting. Anyway, back to Highspirits side. He's on the bridge. Do you want to see him face off against Matt Warmick? Pull out your blessed RNGs, everybody.
I want to see him get out of here. That's all I want. I want to see him get away from...
Oh, the nukes!
His white mage will survive and he's out. That's what's important. You need to heal them up the rest of the way. You just cannot let them sit without all their health, because they will get destroyed by another nuke. There you go.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, no, this is tolerable by comparison. I think they may actually have a fire spell, but you don't care that it's not nuke. Fire spells can be shrugged off. This is the bridge with the area with the highest encounter rate! Oh, wow! And the chicken. No respect for the chicken, runs away. Meanwhile, Dengwoo is now taking his big pull against Carry 2. Carry swings for decent damage, but the fighter and the ninja swing for more. That was over 1,200 damage off of that ninja swing. Woo!
Oh, sorry about the eruption earlier when you were talking about Dengwoo stuff. I was just shocked the Bless RNG worked on Highspirits side to where he encountered Warmech.
It's all good. Warmech is worth announcing. So we do have a Tia pull from Highspirits, and he has his full party up this time. That is everything he hoped for. Everything.
Bainsword not work.
Well, it only has like a 12 to 16% chance. I don't know the exact amount, but it's not a great chance to hit. You keep doing it because if you can instant death it, then you don't actually have to fight the thing. But if you had Brack or something, it would have been better.
Yeah. Brack always has a higher chance of just being an opponent.
And this Tiamat does have decent absorb, and seems at least a little evadey. I don't think he's like it's gonna kill him right now. We haven't seen like a cure or a nuke or something from him, or a cure 4 even. But hey, there we go. Bainsword worked. But you can see the difference in their levels, because his characters are around level 18, and Nuclear comes out from Kraken. I don't think Dengwoo's going to care. Meanwhile, Dengwoo's characters are, like, almost in the 40s at this point. That ninja swinging for 14 hits. That is sick. Highspirits gets the blue stake. Gonna take the blue stake, get as many levels as he can off of that blue stake.
And pretty much his ninja got knocked out by the T-Rex.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You wanted the experience on there, because as you can see from Dengwoo's party, once you get that ninja really up in his levels, he just flies. But so far, there has been nothing here that's really been too scary to stop Dengwoo in his great marauding of this entire seed. Decides to use a Lightning 3 charge, because at this point you're not going to have much more use for it. App is now level 38. He gets the Worm Pack. He runs from the Worm Pack. Wants to go pull carry Tiamat as soon as he can. Highspirits trying to figure out where he wants to go at this point in this town, see if he needs to buy more resources, and then he's going to go do his Kraken pull. Meanwhile, Tiamat here, we're getting our buffs out, we're getting set up to roll. Tiamat comes out with a Lightning 2, doesn't even matter. Who cares about Lightning 2? Invis 2 comes out, get a little bit of buffing going on. 8 hits for 224. You want to see more, but that's not bad. He's going to temper himself once, swing out with that X-Cal. X-Cal 2 hits for 11 damage. This is what I was saying about that X-Cal. Another nuclear boss, but even 300 isn't going to put Ale on the ground. He still has 200 to go. Big swing, 11 hits for 526 damage. Tiamat didn't have a lot of health, maybe even less than Kraken, and that was enough to put her on the ground. Dengwoo has one more boss ahead of him, and then it is time to watch the credits roll. So let's hope that he can do this. Everyone, put out your prayers and let's hope for a good chaos. Ooh, the unrunnable Iron Gall. Interesting. We don't see this very often. Can't use Quad X. Quad X doesn't work against them. No health! And 6,000 experience for that no health battle. Here we go. It's time for the Chaos pull. Dengwoo's on the last floor of this dungeon. Doesn't even go with a victory lap. Takes a moment to heal, rearrange his party, rearrange his equipment. Make sure everyone is set to roll. Try and decide if he wants to use that powered bonk or not. Decides against. Has you healed? Are you ready to go yet? Takes a moment, breathes, and dives in. Did not heal his knight, but they're both sitting at above 500 health. Gets the fast charge off. Gets the white shirt off. Chaos swings for 104. Dengwoo shrugs that off. Throws another white shirt out, getting the second temper going. Soon enough, that ninja is going to be, or maybe his first temper. Soon enough, that ninja is going to be ready to roll. 205 hits damage for the ninja, though. Gotta hope that doesn't happen again. And another big crack from Chaos against that fighter. He is desperately below nuclear range now. If a nuclear comes out, his party is going to be hurting. Another big swing from Chaos against the Ninja. Ninja and Fighter are desperate to get this battle over soon. He decides to temper again, though. Another white shirt. Chaos is finally missing. 13 hits for 359. He wants to see more damage, but he's going to take what he can get. White shirt continues out. Should be perfectly defended right now. Another 13 hits for 358. Chaos doesn't seem to have any spells. Just going to hold off with that fighter. Swing out for the Ninja. 13 hits, 361. And then another hit, 4 hits for 235. This battle is going the way Dengwoo wants, even if the damage isn't quite there. 14 hits, 401. Dengwoo has taken it with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, 41 seconds. GG's to Dengwoo. And in the background, we saw Highspirits has forfeited. It's unfortunate. The air nukes were just what did him in right there. So we're going to see if we can get both of them in for an interview. Hopefully we can. Hey, Dengwoo.
Oh, hi everybody. GG, yay, go me.
How do you feel about that
GG,
run?
Great up until everything decided they were hard to hit. And then, to top it off, then you gave me unrunnable airs with nuke. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome for that. It's one of my specials.
Yeah, and apparently you took the damage better than Highspirits, though.
Speaking of, hey, Highspirits, GG's, that was a rough one for you.
Yeah, Air Castle wasn't very friendly, was it?
Oh,
Sky
Woo.
Tower.
Yeah, that was
I
brutal.
spent probably 20 minutes in there, if not longer.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah, having airs with nukes definitely hurts a party instantly.
But yeah, GG, Dengwoo. Hopefully you survived that better than I did.
Well, I got lucky. I ran into like a pack of a Gurnaga and an air, and it just randomly nuked, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun. And then I ran into like 3 of them. Luckily, only one of them decided to go off in the Bridge of Destiny, but I had to kill him with a Thor hammer and Ice 3.
Yeah, I just couldn't, I couldn't hit them. And they had a lot of health, and I just couldn't get by them. And then there's a couple of times I came across packs of 5 airs, and those are wipes also.
Oh,
I think Dengwoo, you have to be so happy you didn't see that encounter 8 air tile or air encounter on the sky floor of Tokyo.
I ran into the unrunnable iron goal. I was like, how? I have no heal potions. What am I going to do? Because every boss had nuclear or, kind of rolled high enough. And then I get to the air floor after killing the Tiamat, and it's like unrunnable iron goal, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm hoping we crit here, and I managed to kill it, and then it's Team Edward Fan Club, and I'm like, oh, I got initiative, sweet, see ya.
Yeah, I was amazed that the Iron Gall had like less than 300 health.
Well, I am thankful that it did. I think that's a reset. I had like no health. The only thing I should have done was, I'm glad Chaos was punch happy, because I finally got enough evade and it was easy, but...
So, for the two of you, tell us about your thoughts once you had this party come in, because this was a draft party with 2 white mages. First off, Highspirits, are you regretting that second white mage?
Not at all. It just took me forever to find any gear to use with them. Like, I didn't go to Sky until like pretty late, so I didn't have Mass Mune, Katana, I just didn't have any way to deal damage with them, so I was just farming undead when I could.
Did you have any thoughts about maybe dropping one of the white mages and going 3-man?
I was, but but not as long as I had 2 ice swords as my only weapons for most of the seed until I got to Sky. I was like, I can't afford. I need a body or someone to spam the mage staff because I didn't have any damage output. I just couldn't find any gear to deal any damage.
And I think that was honestly the big difference between you two, because Dengwoo, at what point did you decide that it wasn't worthwhile to keep those white mages around and just rock a 2-man ninja fighter?
I mean, once I got into the air, I was just trying to get rid of them. I was like, if I could just find somewhere to grind or get through. I kept the 1 just in case with exit. But when I found the tail, I was like, all right, you're done. I don't need you anymore. And then with it 3-eye tile and water, I went up to 29. I said, okay, well, Kraken's gonna die. I have enough stuff.
Yeah, I was saying to myself, if I found a weapon, anything, I will at least kill one of these white mages. And I never found a weapon, and I was like, oh, okay, I finally found Mass Mune when I got to Mirage. I'm like, cool, I'll see about, and then I got destroyed in Mirage, and I'm like, I need as many targets and life to survive as possible to get past this. So I never even had the time to get rid of them.
Yeah, I used Bane Sword on my ninja, and I used the defense sword on my knight for a long period of time. And then when I got Xkale and Moss, I was like, well, my 2-man party's looking pretty good right about now.
Yeah, I never found Xkale, so.
Xkale did a lot of work right up until it went up against red dragons and or airs and or any dragon, because nothing could hit anything.
Yeah, I had trouble hitting a lot of things in this seed. It was definitely not fighter friendly, that's for sure.
So any further thoughts from you guys about this? Anything that you kind of wish you'd done differently, or were you totally happy with how your runs played out, all things considered?
I don't think I can complain about anything I did, because all the best gear that I could find was locked behind the last key item I could find, so I don't know if there's much I could have done better, except for maybe getting rid of a white mage quicker, but I don't know how much that would have actually saved me. Those errors destroyed me, especially those packs of 5.
Dengwoo, if you'd gone to, let's say you'd gone to Volcano before Sky, would you have still done as much treasure digging there? Do you wish that you'd gone to Sky second after Volcano? What's your thought process?
I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest. When I found that power bonk, I went, wait, I thought I already found the loose. So then the entire floating, or the air castle, or the floating castle, I was just thinking, did I forget Bicky? And that's why you saw me talk to Bicky again. I'm like, I did it again, didn't I? I forgot to talk to Bicky.
Yeah, I never found the power bonk either. That's why I was in such dire shape. I didn't have Excalibur, I didn't have the power bonk, I had nothing to work with.
I mean, I didn't mind the Sky. I know I needed the levels, and it actually proved to be the better option in that, especially in this seed, because I was sucking health potions the entire time. There was just nothing I could do. It was Lich had nuclear into tornado. Carry 2 had a decent attack and something else. Kraken had a nuke. Tiamat had a nuke. I don't know. It was just everything had a nuke. And then I get the chaos, and it's just punch, 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 and it's dealing enough damage. I'm like, I'm in trouble here.
Sounds like Topher was rough. I still had to clear Earth. I forfeit after I got my 3rd orb.
I feel you.
I feel you. With the white mage, it's possible, just because the white mage has got so much healing. So you probably would have been a lot better off. It's just my only healing was heal potions and a Q2 in the 3rd slot in level 3 magic. So, which I'm glad I remembered, because that was very crucial.
Yep, I was just hoping that Ninja was going to use that fast and temper to get me through, but took too long to get to being able to use charges.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting and brutal seed right there. I mean, it was fun to watch. I'll say that much.
Oh, well, at least if it was fun, that's what matters.
I mean, when I got into the air, I was hoping maybe he didn't go to Matoya's, because if he doesn't go to Matoya's, he doesn't get the money, and then he's got to grind forever to float. I'm like, okay, I should have a little bit of an advantage right now. And then I got into the air, and I just, like, spun my tires. I was like, where am I going now? I'm trying to gain levels, and I kind of wish I would have went to Ordeals, because Sarias were on that first and second encounters, like right on that one area, and it was amazing for early levels.
Yeah, the Sarias, you managed to figure out that you could power cycle through 3 encounters with them, and that seemed to be working great for you. And then you found that third eye grind soon after, and you just had all the levels you needed. So that when you got to the airs, you could actually shrug off one of their nukes.
And once again, the ninja's like, "Ooh, Nuke, that's tasty. Let me take a high roll real quick." I'm like, why would you do that?
Just to make you clench a little harder.
It's actually amazing how much ninjas love Nuke and nuclear. They're just like, oh, it's candy. Yum, yum, yum. And they just take it to the face.
Yeah, I did go into Matoya's cave actually very early, because I went in there, got the ice sword, and went and beat Garland with it.
Okay, yeah. Because there was like a lot of money there. I was just like, if for whatever reason he doesn't go there, I mean, it was such an easy run there and back, which was awesome. That third encounter, or the first encounter through the sea, was so long.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I thought it was the second encounter. I thought the first encounter was fairly fast, and then the second one took forever.
Yeah, I don't. Sure. I don't know. It all blended together at this point.
It's not like we used the ship at all. I mean,
yeah, right. The third encounter was decently long too, which was nice on the land. So.
All right. Well,
yeah.
we still have 2 more matches going on right now, so I think it's probably not a bad idea if we start like directing people over to the next of the ones that's still going on. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Rip air.
Not much. Just thanks a lot to Speed Gaming. Thanks a lot to all of our broadcast partners, Randomizer, Limit Break, all of our commentator volunteers. They are volunteers. They are helping us out. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, the fans, for doing this. As actually our broadcast partners update or export all their videos, I will be putting them in a centralized location on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, I'm going to post the link real quick. Check it out, subscribe, whatever you want to do, but that should have all the 2020 spring tournament races all together as we go through this. So thanks a lot, everybody.
Yep, GG's, and thanks everyone who commentated and tracked this. And Speed Gaming, of course.
And GG to you, Highspirits.
You too, man. Good luck in the tournament.
Same to you.
Kevin, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, in general, I thought this eve was not only a nice one, but also very brutal at the same time. It was enough to make me cringe.
It was indeed. At times it got pretty dangerous, but that's the fun of Final Fantasy Randomizer. So from all of us out here, I want to let everyone know, remember, follow your runners, Dengwoo and Highspirits. They did a fantastic job tonight. Make sure you follow the people behind the scenes that are helping out here. MG Weirdo, our tracker, as well as my co-commentator, Kevin McLeod, and myself, Darkmoon EX, Darkmoon Firelight on Twitch. Make sure to give a special thanks to Speed Gaming. Let us hang out here all day, basically, on Speed Gaming 4. That was fantastic of you, and we appreciate it for our long marathon of gaming. We do still have more going on tonight. 2 other races are running right now. Links are posted in the chat, so you can go check them out. Those of you that watch on YouTube, I'm sure they'll be next up in the playlist for you. And from all of us here in Final Fantasy Randomizer Land, I want to thank you all for showing up, for watching, and we will see you next time.